The candle pattern block found in the Condition section on the left side of our Builder menu simplifies the use of the most renowned and recognized candlestick patterns, while allowing for advanced customization. Moreover, it provides the flexibility to create custom candle patterns by combining various formations according to user preferences. Its features include the ability to identify whether a candle is bullish or bearish, as well as selecting candles based on desired sizes. Let's take a closer look at how this block works. Upon opening it, we're presented with a drop-down menu displaying all the predefined patterns and custom candle pattern at the bottom. Starting from the beginning, if we click on Engulfing, a new screen will appear. The first thing we notice on the right is the formation of the pattern, in this case, a bearish candle fully engulfed by a bullish one. Hovering over the eye icon to the right of Engulfing provides an explanation of the pattern's characteristics. Alternatively, clicking on Bullish opens another menu where we can determine whether we want the pattern to be bullish, bearish, or bullish or bearish. The second option we can customize is the candle ID, which defaults to 1. Here we can explain 3 rules that apply to all patterns we will create. The first rule is that the candle ID can never be 0. Writing 0 refers to the candle that is forming at that moment, and since it doesn't have a close, it's not possible to determine a pattern. The second rule, candle ID, always refers to the candle to the right of the pattern. In the case of the bullish engulfing, for example, it refers to the bullish candle. The third rule, candle ID, always refers to the pattern. For example, if we input candle ID 2, we are asking the block to activate only if there is a pattern formation, followed by any bearish or bullish candle, large or small, and this will be candle ID 1. Upon the close of this last candle, the block will activate. As always, by clicking on Additional Filter, we have the possibility to filter our pattern using timeframe and symbol. If instead we continue and select another option, in this case, harem, we find the same configuration as engulfing, therefore, the same functioning. Let's continue the tutorial by exploring patterns with more complex configurations, such as the hammer. Again, as before, we can determine the hammer as bullish, bearish, or bullish or bearish. In this case, however, we can customize the hammer in pips. The first option we encounter is min body size. This value refers solely to the body of the candle, excluding the shadows. When we use the value 5, for example, it means the body of the candle must be at least 5 pips. And all candles with a body larger than 5 are considered valid. The second customization option is lower shadow size, perhaps the trickiest part to understand. Here, we need to perform a multiplication. If we input the value 3, for instance, we are requesting a candle with a lower shadow of at least 15 pips, because 5 multiplied by 3 equals 15. If we input the value 4, for example, we are requesting a candle with a lower shadow of at least 20 pips, as 5 multiplied by 4 equals 20. The last customizable option is max upper shadow. This time, we are specifying the maximum upper shadow. If we leave the value set to 1, candles with an upper shadow less than 1 pip are considered valid. Very similar is the customization of the shooting star, which we can select from our menu at the top. The difference is that in this case, we will multiply the upper shadow, so upper shadow size, and we will have the lower shadow as max lower shadow. The combination of these two patterns is the spinning top, if we open its configuration. We see that there is always a min body size, but in this case, the upper and lower shadows are managed together. With the parameter shadow size, again, multiplication will be used in this case. If we input 4 as the value, we will see that the shadows will be at least 20 pips. Continuing down the list of patterns, we encounter the 3 white soldiers and the 3 black crows. These two patterns are not customizable outside of the candle ID. Both patterns are characterized by each candle opening at a higher level, for the 3 white soldiers, or lower level, for the 3 black crows, than the close of the previous candle, creating a gap between the candles and confirming the strength of the new trend direction. Before moving on to the candle custom pattern, we find the Marubozu. This pattern consists of a single candle with a large body and small shadows. Here, we can determine the minimum body size of the candle through the min body size parameter and the maximum upper and lower shadow. If we leave this example as is, we are asking for a bullish candle with a body of at least 20 pips and no upper or lower shadows. Lastly, we find the custom candle pattern, which is obviously not a predefined pattern but allows traders to create their own custom pattern. Clicking on it opens a new screen. Here, too, we have the option to choose whether we want a bullish, bearish, or bearish candle, and of course, we can assign a candle ID as well. If we check the box next to Enable Candle Configuration, we see that we can customize our candle. The box corresponds to the property of the candle we want to modify. In our choices, we have body size, referring, as we saw before, only to the candle's body, excluding the shadows, total candle size, meaning the entire candle, both body and shadows, shadow size, indicating both shadows, upper shadow size, only the upper shadow, and finally, lower shadow size, only the lower shadow. In the center, we find the operator we already know, more than, less than, etc. And on the right, we find the box to determine the pips of our customization. For example, if we leave the default parameters, we are looking for a bullish candle with a body greater than 10 pips. But we can further customize our candle. Clicking on Add Another Configuration opens a new line, and here too, we can choose different configurations. For example, if we enter upper shadow size and select less than as the operator and enter 5 as the pips. Now we are looking for a candle with a body greater than 10 and an upper shadow less than 5. We can add these configurations up to a maximum of 5 times per candle. Like this. Additionally, if we want to create a custom pattern with multiple candles, we can click on Add Another Candle at the bottom. This opens a screen similar to the previous one, where we can customize another candle. We can start by entering candle ID 2, then check the box. And we can create our new candle with a total candle size greater than 20 pips. Again, we can add new candles up to a maximum of 10. Now let's look at some practical examples that we can create with the candle pattern block. Surely the first one could be using a predefined pattern, such as the 3 white soldiers, to generate buy signals. A second example could be the combination of 2 candle pattern blocks. In this case, we use a bearish hammer, as seen here, followed by a red candle with no size limits that we created using the custom candle pattern. These 2 blocks will serve to generate a sell signal. Another example could be to create a candle configuration to modify the stop loss. We can insert 3 candles inside the candle pattern block, all 3 bullish with a total candle size greater than 10. Within the modified trade block, we can set a custom stop loss that is placed at the low of the 3rd bullish candle. Of course, these are just examples of usage. Using the blocks out of context doesn't make much sense, but we hope to have given you some ideas on how to use this interesting new block. In conclusion, the candle pattern is a great ally for traders, offering access to both famous patterns and the freedom to create their own. This tool is essential for improving trading strategies, allowing greater customization and adaptability to market conditions.